The world is teeming with unnecessary people. It's God's decision that I fight. As a knight of honor, as a protector of the seal, I sacrifice myself to the blood of criminals.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Rizu here, and today, as you guys can already tell, that the Silent Hill 2 remake is real, and I know I'm very late to the party. Honestly, I'm very happy that this game is actually being remastered, but then again, I'm also afraid that it's gonna be screwed up because Silent Hill 2, for me at least, is a very, very beautiful game. Knowing that the story is amazing, the characters are also pretty good. The atmosphere is just phenomenal in general, and today I'm not going to be talking about all of that. I will probably be explaining that probably later on, but today I do want to talk about a few changes I would like to see in the Silent Hill 2 remake, or at least I want to see in the Silent Hill 2 remake. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing I actually do want to see is possibly new weapons. Like, for example, we can expand it on the armory of Silent Hill 2 and maybe add, like, I don't know, a machete or maybe a sword or something like that. Even though the sword was already in Silent Hill 3, why not bring it back for Silent Hill 2 remake? But the second thing I actually do want to see is, of course, new monsters. Now, I'm sorry if I sound like this, it's that I'm really sick right now. But I am very afraid of this particular part, mainly because creating a new monster, it's going to be a very difficult task, especially since you got to realize that all the monsters that are in Silent Hill 2 are pretty much a manifestation of James's mind. And to create a new monster, you have to really dig deep inside of James's mind and actually know, like, okay, what does he actually think, and maybe touch some upon parts that we didn't even know about James's mind. And that's where you can actually create a new monster. But like I said, that is very difficult to do, because not only do you have to create a new monster, but you also have to make sure that it fits to the story itself, or at least it fits to the manifestation of all the monsters that are in Silent Hill 2. So you really gotta think through with these type of monsters, because if you don't, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot of people mad. Because if you just add like a random monster into the game and it doesn't really give you like full details, or at least it doesn't show like why they're there in Silent Hill 2, then at that point, don't even put any new monsters in the game. But if you do end up putting new monsters in the game, Bloober team, you gotta make sure that it makes sense, and of course, you gotta make sure that it fits in Silent Hill. And we don't just want a random monster. We want it to be fit in the story as well. So please, Bloober team, do your best and try to think a little bit deeper in James's mind. Maybe touch some stuff that we usually never touch in James's mind. But other than that, I hope that you guys actually make like a badass monster, and even scary as well, and make sure it actually fits into James's mind as well. Now, my third thing I actually do want to include is, of course, the story. Now, obviously, it's not changing the story itself, but like, how to explain it? Like, expanding the story, like, for example, instead of James figuring out everything in the bathroom, how does he react when he actually got it from his house or apartment, or wherever he's living in right now? Like, how did he receive it? How did he felt? Who gave it to him? And most importantly, how did he get to Silent Hill? Since we all know it's an abandoned place, so there shouldn't be anyone there. But it would be cool to actually change the way he actually knew about the letter and think about everything. But obviously, like I said, not changing the story at all, because we all know in Resident Evil 2 Remake, they actually alter it a bit. Instead of Claire and Leon meeting in a liquor bar at Raccoon City, they actually met in a gas station. Why not do the same thing here? Like, instead of him figuring out everything in the bathroom, why doesn't he just figure out everything in his house? And like I said, like, how did he react to it, and who gave it to him? Because it would be kind of interesting to see like how he actually received the letter. And not only that, it's pretty much expanding the story, which I think they should actually do, like expand the story of Silent Hill 2. Another thing you can actually expand upon is, of course, the characters. Like, for example, Maria, Eddie, and Laura, I mean. And let's say, for example, with Maria, as we all know, there's actually a side story for Maria, but why don't we just expand to it? Like, for example, when they actually separate in the game, why don't we have like a little snippet of what's going on with Maria? Like, for example, in the hospital, when they actually got separated because James went to the other world and Maria was actually left behind, and when James came back, she was no longer there. And not only that, she actually was in the basement waiting for him to come back. So how did she end up being in the basement? Like, how did she end up being there? Like, it would be kind of cool to actually add like a playable character for Maria, Laura, and of course Eddie. Another thing we can actually see is maybe with Laura, like what does she see on her mind with Silent Hill? Because we all know Laura really hasn't been like scared or anything like that. She doesn't look like she's scared, and it would be cool to know like what does she actually see on Silent Hill? Like, because we all know that Silent Hill is pretty much infinitely like, how to explain it? It's infinitely different for everyone that's gonna be encountered into Silent Hill. Like, for example, there is actually a quote from one guy in Silent Hill 3, which I'll play the clip right now.
Don't stand there looking so smug. You're the worst person in this room. You come here and enjoy spilling their blood and listening to them cry out. You feel excited when you step on them and snuff out their lives.
Are you talking about the monsters?
Monsters? They look like monsters to you?
Oh no.
Don't worry. It's just a joke.
And that pretty much confirms that there's actually different perspectives of Silent Hill. What he said to Heather actually makes sense, because Heather only sees monsters, but as for the glasses dude, he doesn't see them as monsters. He just sees them as regular people. And that's how you know that Silent Hill is very different for anyone in this world. And it could be different monsters, it could be different everything. The only thing that kind of fucked up was with Pyramid Head, because we all know Pyramid Head is a very iconic monster, but the only thing here is that it only exists in Silent Hill 2. It only exists in Silent Hill 2, but for some reason they actually added it in I think it was Homecoming or Downpour. I'm not sure which one of those two, but it's one of those two that they actually added Pyramid Head for some reason, but that's just because of fan service. And not only that, he was only there for a snippet, so it doesn't make sense. But other than that, we'll talk about that later. Anyways, expanding the story, it would be nice to actually see like the perspective of Silent Hill from Eddie's mind and of course Laura's mind. Now, my fourth and last one that I would like to see in the Silent Hill 2 remake is of course expanding the town itself. Like, let's say for example, if you guys remember in Silent Hill 1, when Sybil actually tells Harry that his daughter actually walked through thin air across a bridge, and it was crazy to think that she was able to do that, but the others like Sybil and Harry, they can't walk through that because it's been blocked up. Wouldn't it be cool to actually see more areas? Like, for example, when you're actually playing as Laura, you actually visit other areas, like for example the Alchemilla Hospital, or even the school that's actually on Silent Hill 1, or with Eddie as well. Like, maybe you can put other new areas that James cannot go because it's blocked off, but Eddie can actually go because, well, he has a different version of Silent Hill. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is, of course, adding new areas and maybe add Easter eggs from Silent Hill 1, 3, or any other Silent Hill game that's ever been released. Like for example, they can add like a PT Easter egg, or they can add so many other Easter eggs from other games. Like, there's so many possibilities they can actually do in this game, but also not try to change too much of the game itself, because like I said, I think the story is perfectly fine. The only thing I would love to see is maybe expand the story and not actually alter anything. And also adding like new endings to the game as well, which I think it is confirmed by the developers themselves, but I'm not 100% sure. All I know is I do remember someone talking about that they will be adding more endings to the game instead of the typical 4 endings that we have in the game itself. It would be nice to actually see more endings, because, you know, to expand more of the story. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my view of Silent Hill 2 Remake. My next video is probably going to be talking about my concerns about Bloober Team, but like I said, that will be in a whole separate new video. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. But yeah, it's been your boy Rizu, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Adios.